Alrighty. All right. Time to get to it. Good morning, good morning. UOKA, United Kingdom. Good morning, good morning. Hope you're all doing well. Okay. Good morning to Lightspeed. I do have some announcements to make, but I will wait until more people come before I go ahead and drop them. RITR. Kind of cheaper. Certainly worth keeping an eye on this one. Yeah, let's see how much it hurt me taking off Friday. Let's see how many people don't come now. And I mean, I deserve it too, because shouldn't be skipping days. But I was just really out of it on Friday. Even now, I'm still a little bit under the weather, but I'm still here anyway. And looking like a slower day too. Yeah. Realistically, the closest stock in play is RITR, but even this, I'm not really sure. Because, like, it looks pretty thick to me. What do I use for news? Weeble isn't great. This is Bazinga from Thinkorswim. From my experience, they're super, super reliable. There has been a few instances where they haven't worked, but it's very, very low, right? It's, I'd say they work like 98% of the time. It's very, very good. I personally would strongly recommend it. Not that I'm giving advice or anything, because I'm not, but in my opinion, it is a very good, good news platform. Right, I mean, like this one even, right? This started spiking at around 6 o'clock. You can see at 6:05 it put out news. Right, OUKA. Looks like this was news from either yesterday or Friday. When would that have been? The 6th. So it doesn't look like this had news behind it. So this one I would say is just a no news, right? So like, yeah, I just have this pulled up and this just shows the news. Yeah, I think it's just live news if you use the widget menu from Thinkorswim. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, we got 8 people, so there are some people still willing to come, even though it's a dead day and even though I missed a day. I do appreciate you guys coming in here. Wait for a couple more and then I'll go ahead and just announce some things. Yeah, it's a dead day. I mean, honestly, I'm happy with this, considering the kind of state I'm in right now. Just having a slower day to come back to is probably better for me anyway. Help me get back in the mood a bit. If you guys could do me a favor and hit that like button if you're coming in, I would appreciate it. Although it seems like right now, not really missing too much by not hitting it, because, yeah, not a lot going on right now. Certainly don't feel inclined to force a trade on this. Okay. All right. Now, I do have something I want to show here. Go ahead, reset. It would be this one. So this is something, let me see if you guys can see it. You should be able to see it, yeah. So this is something I've been working on over the weekend while I've been sick. Just kind of getting this data set together. And this was something I've been really looking into for short selling. I know, joining the dark side. But anyway, I've been putting this data together. I've been running several tests. And I've come to some interesting conclusions. But I went ahead and I funded a $2,000 account, waiting on the money to settle right now. So while it's waiting to settle, I'll still be trading in this account. But I have some ideas I want to try. So I'm going to be looking into that over the next week or two. And I want to get your guys' opinion. Honestly, it's a pretty slow market right now, so I probably might just do it now, even though we only have 14. Do I bother though? Because like it's such a low sample size. I mean, I guess I can since you guys are probably here to see the action and there's no action, so might as well do something. But yeah, let me go ahead and make a poll here, and I want to get your guys' thought on specifically like what I'm trading and showing. Trying to think how to word it. I'm not really sure how to word it. So my issue is that, and I talked about this a bit on the Discord, but I'm concerned that a lot of people that are coming into the stream, and this isn't necessarily to say that I want to focus specifically on them, but I need to incorporate them more. And that is that people that come on stream or people that will watch some recaps, I've seen a huge amount of people that will look at how much I'm making and they will just immediately write it off and say, okay, you're not worth watching. You're making like $20 a day at most. You're losing like $30 a day on some days. Okay, yeah, you're averaging maybe a slight green, but it's not really worth my time. And that's what I'm getting from a lot of people. So my concern is that while my system can work, I have downsized it significantly from what I used to trade it at. Because like at peak, I was trading this system with like 1,000 shares a trade. because I'm trading on stream, the stress has been higher, and I've been trying to do it better in terms of just like me executing appropriately, which I think I've done well mostly. There's been some hiccups, certainly, but I'm concerned that I'm not only avoiding a lot of certain people, but I'm actually kind of pushing against the process narrative. Because like my whole thing is I'm trying to push the process matters. And a lot of people will come in and like there was one day someone came in and they're like, you only made $1.80 today. That's terrible. Why are you streaming? Why are you guys all here supporting this? And we all ruled it off and just said, hey, it's about the process. And it is about the process. But empirically, practically, that person brings up a really good point, which is that these results aren't really impressive. And like, I don't have any way to prove it because like I don't have any audited records. I can show some of it, but not all of it. Maybe I can show maybe a couple $1,000s of it. But with this strategy, I've made several in total over the last like 2.5, 3 years. I've made over 10,000 with it. It might not look like it, but again, I was trading with larger size at one point. But because I've had to downsize so much, the marginal edge hasn't really had much room to wiggle. And like you've seen from the Lightspeed account, I was up like 200 or something gross. And that was with commissions. You figure if I 10x that, right, that's like 2,000 in 2 months. So like the math is there to make it worth, but with me streaming, it's not really effective. And I'm not really saying that I need to size up because I don't think that's the answer here. The issue is with my strategy is it's very, very precise and you have to execute a lot of correct assessments in a very short period of time, which inherently makes it very stressful. And as a result, I don't really think that's a good strategy to be trying to size up with all that stress from that decision combined with the stream. I think that's unhealthy. That's part of why I sized down, is because the stress was so high with it. So I'm thinking that I need a different strategy that I can use that is a longer term one, where I don't have a lot of decision making front loaded and a lot of stress put on a single point. Which is why I'm looking into the short selling thesis, because short selling is typically a more drawn out period. So like I said, I've been doing a lot of data gathering, right? I've gathered a whole bunch of data. I've been running a bunch of simulations lately. I have an idea in mind for something that I think could work. So like I said, I'm waiting for an account to get funded. And I want to go ahead and bring this to my question for you guys now. Is, would you prefer either A, I keep streaming in this account and I'll just keep trading the strategy I've been trading for the time being, or would you rather B, watch me trading this new strategy live? It'll be extremely small size, mind you, because this is still experimental stages. We're talking like 3 shares a trade or something, stupid small size. But would you rather prefer that I continue trading this way, or once my other account is funded, I show trading this new strategy with super, super small size? I'll go ahead and make a poll here for you guys here. And we only got 14 people, so I might run this poll again when we get more people here. But just curious what you guys think. I like the commentary and your analysis. I'm also trading small size, wanting to size up when things turn around, better than trading alone. And that's the thing too, right? Is I was wanting to size up as well with even with this falling knife setup, but because I'm having trouble pulling away, right? The $50 I paid last month from fees and commissions, plus the slight drawdown I'm experiencing this month, I'm not really wanting to get red in the account, you know, like it's because I'm trying to claim that I have a marginal edge whenever I'm going red. I don't really like to size up in that mindset. Would love to watch you experiment, although I am also here for the commentary and mindset. Either one, yeah. Either one. I like watching you on the mood for streaming. It's all about the mood, huh? Well, I mean, we'll get a mood today because I don't know about you guys, but it feels dead as AF right now. Like, yeah, there's just like nothing really moving with any real presence. RITR looks a little interesting, but even that's moving pretty slow. Okay, so we're pretty split. We are pretty split right now. Like I said, I'll probably run this poll again later today once we have like 30 plus people. Just out of curiosity with it. But it seems like we have an interesting split. For me, ideally, I would like to do the short-sighted strategy because that way I can get more practice with it. And right now, I can't even trade every day anyway, so if I would do the short strategy, it would probably be alternating. And the reason I say that is because shorting requires a margin account. And, you know, margin account means you need the 25,000 for the PDT rule. And especially with me experimenting with a new strategy, I don't want to fund a $25,000 account, expose myself to that leverage, to experiment with the strategy. So I will probably be doing it in a $20 or $2,000 account, which means that I'll be subject to that 3 trades every, what is it, every 4 rolling days or something? 3, no, I think it's like 5. It's really bad. But yeah, that means that by that very nature, I wouldn't be trading every day in it. But I'm certainly down to show it. Yep, my goal this week is no pre-market trades, honestly. I mean, if the market's not giving you opportunity, I would agree. But if it is giving you opportunity, why not? Unless you have a reason to think that trading pre-market is bad, right? For whatever your strategy is, if you think that it's hindering you, then that's different. At least that's my take. Do international account. So I understand that. Here's my counter retort, which is, oh, hold on, what is this? Is this thing moving any? It's moving a little bit. No news on this pop. Oh, I gotta link this up. This thing's not linked. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So for international account, it makes sense if the only goal is to allow day trading for testing. And maybe at least for the testing phase, I could do that. That is fair. I would essentially be accepting that I'm going to eat really bad commissions, though. My initial plan was to do it on Webull, and that's where I'm like currently funding it. And the main reason for that is just that Webull free commissions is a great aspect, and I wanted to see how often I was actually even able to short, right? Because I know that short locates is going to be potentially problematic. Like if I'm only able to short 20% of trades I want to take, that's really bad. But I don't know how bad it'll be, right? It could be bad. It could be not bad. Can I give the link to my Discord? There is one in the description. Maybe it's out of date. If it's out of date, let me know and I can update it. It might be out of date. Yeah, let me know, Jess. If the one in the description doesn't work, let me know. I'll get you a fresh one. Yeah, and even this, he had like a pop from 180 to 2. And that's like the best we're getting with no news. This is certainly feeling like a slower day. All right, we're up to like 27 people now. For those of you coming in, I'll go ahead and explain the poll real quick again for people coming in. So, God, how do I re-explain all that without just rambling the whole thing again? Just says it, just tried it, says expired. Yeah, okay, give me 1 sec. I'll go ahead and update it. Thank you. Thank you for that. I really should just get into a habit of updating it the same day every week, just so I don't have this problem. Okay. All right, the link should be updated. You would have to refresh the page, but I'll go ahead and post it in chat as well, just so it's in chat. All right, there you go. Okay. All right, now the chill music just by default starts playing again. You know, I'll let it play. I'll let it play. We don't have a lot of action going on right now anyway. Let me turn it down just a smidge. I'll go ahead and explain the poll again for those of you that are coming in. Sorry, I'm all over the place. So my concern is that I need a new strategy for streaming, because while my strategy does have a marginal edge, I've had to downsize significantly. The stress of having to make a lot of decisions in a short period of time, combined with the stress of trading to people, is a lot. And as a result, I've sized down. I was hoping to build a cushion before I sized up. But realistically, like, I mean, I'm still technically gross $80 or closer to like 60. It's a little higher than it looks right now because I do have interest that I've been watching. I have like $10 in interest so far, but that hasn't been applied yet. But yeah, I'm up like $60 gross. So like the account isn't even doing that bad, but on paper it does look bad, right? Because I started with 5,000. It looks like I'm still at 5,000. So it doesn't look like progress has been made. And while I respect that, it's just part of the process, and I'm sure a lot of you respect that as well, the reality is anybody who's coming from the outside that looks at this is just going to say, you're just wasting your time. And they do have a bit of a point. So even though we all, I think, respect the process, the practical reality is that to a lot of people, it doesn't look good. And if I'm trying to get my message out there that process is important, if I'm not appealing to people who aren't yet focused on process, then I'm missing out on really educating people in a direction I think that would help people. So that is why I want to pivot. I think that shorting can give more opportunity for that, which is why I'm putting my focus there. So I have to go ahead and show it again here. I have been documenting a lot of trades. I've been doing some tests, running some simulations. So my data seems to support this, that there is potential for edge here, significant potential. So that is why I'm trying to put my focus there. And my question is, for those of you that are watching, would you prefer, while I'm still learning the shorting strategy and testing it, would you prefer that I continue trading in this $5,000 account? By the way, I'm okay with either of these options for the time being. Would you prefer I keep trading in this $5,000 account using my current strategy, or would you prefer that I trade with my short strategy that I'm still developing, and I will be trading with extremely small size? We're talking like 3 shares a trade. People who care about looks are stupid. No, okay, Mr. Noob. So I totally get it. I agree on the surface, but I disagree with context. Sorry to bother again, but the link doesn't work. Still saying expire. Are you talking about the description link or the one I gave? Because really, so you're saying that that link doesn't work either. Okay, I don't know why that one wouldn't work. Let me try one more thing. Let me try one more thing, Jess. Because I got that link while on Discord under the streamer mode, which might have messed with the code. Well, no. No, people were able to join. Yeah, I have people that joined since I put that new code. Jess, did you use the code in the description, or did you use the code that I put in chat? The code in chat should 100% work. Like, I'm seeing people that are joining from it, so I'm inclined to think that the code does work. You did. Leave the shorting alone, stick to long cap. Well, I mean, Bobby, like, it's really about what works. And locate fees will cut into your profits, not really worth it. Shorting stocks with 3 shares. Well, that's what I want to figure out. And again, especially for learning a strategy, the goal is not even to make money. Like, the goal for this strategy is to make at least some money. But if you're learning a new strategy, the goal was not to make money, right? I'm not trading with 3 shares to make money. Certainly not. It is purely... Okay, in chat. All right. I'll go ahead and make another one here just in case. I'll also go ahead and turn off streamer mode on Discord, just in case that could have been what's causing it. But again, like, people were able to join... We'll see. We'll see. I'll go ahead and make a new one here. All right. We'll see if this makes an impact or not. We'll try it again. Okay, I appreciate it, Jess. I appreciate you sticking with me here. All right, give that one a try. Yeah, if that doesn't work for you, I genuinely don't know what to tell you. Because I put out the new code and there were people able to join through it, so I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, Bobby, back to your question. That's specifically what I want to figure out. Is first of all, what is the shorting fee? How exactly do the fees work for shorting? Is it even worth doing it with small size as a test? Or is that not going to be efficient? Because maybe there's like a bulk fee or just a flat fee for shorting that I'm not accounting for. And that's something I'll figure out, right? It is an exposure to learn kind of process. But realistically, given like my current strategy and where I really focus a lot of my efforts, we'll just like bring up this stock, for example. I'm someone that has initially tried, right? Because like when I first learned to day trade, I was always focusing on like, you know, the new candle to make a 1 minute high, looking for ABCD pattern setups, looking for flat top breakouts, right? I was looking for all these general bullish patterns to trade to the long side. But what I was finding was that nothing seemed consistent. Like I was consistently having a slight inconsistent profit. And as a result, I was starting to experiment with more edge case scenarios, which is where I came into the falling knife setup. And I found that I did have a marginal edge there, which is why I focused on it and refined it so heavily, because it was the only thing I found success with from the long buy setups. And realistically, like over the years I've been watching these stocks, the number of stocks that fail. Let me show this again here, just to really drive home how bad some of these moves are. I'll actually go ahead and recenter this just to make it a little more clean. So here's the max pullback percent, which is how much does a stock pull back from the top of the move, like the full length of the move. How much of it does it pull back from? And there are some really big outliers here, like 110%, 120%. Mind you that anything over 100% means the stock gave back the entire move plus some. And the average across all of these data points that I gathered was around 80% pullback. In other words, most stocks that pop up fail, and they fail hard. And there's definitely signal there that suggests that there could be edge. Not going to be worth it on hard to borrow stocks. Not on hard to borrow stocks. It won't be worth it. It's a flat fee to locate, and you pay how many shares you want. Okay. If that is true, and it could be, like, if that is true, that there's a flat fee plus the shares, then we'll have to figure out a different scenario or a different way to work around that. Yeah, that could be problematic. Yeah. I guess the real question is, how bad is it, right? If it's really bad, if I'm paying like $10 per trade, then realistically, only taking a couple shares position is going to be very, very inefficient. Maybe even paper trading at that point would be more effective. Good morning, Avter. I feel like at least some of these people that have voted on this poll have literally just joined the stream, saw the poll, and just, without context, just clicked one of them. But okay, it seems like you guys are roughly 50-50 with a slight bias, basically flat, towards wanting to see the new strategy. That at least makes me more comfortable doing it on stream. But yeah, Bobby, if what you're saying is true and the hard to borrow rate is a flat fee, then that will certainly be a situation changer. We'll put it that way. By the way, what on earth is going on right now? There's just nothing moving. I'm not even going to ask for likes. There's just nothing going on right now. I don't really want to push this out to people if I'm not doing anything. How was Friday, by the way? Was Friday slow or was Friday not slow? Good morning, Jay. Okay, yeah, flat fee to locate and a per share fee. So like, hold on, let me pull up Webull here. I'm gonna hide just so I don't share any details. I don't think it's gonna let me short. I think it's gonna stop me just because this isn't a margin account. Yeah, no, there's not even, okay, yeah, they don't even give me the option to short because it's a cash account. Okay, yeah, so I can't even test that. Yeah, if it's bad, then certainly I'm gonna have to rethink things. A flat fee to borrow. Lovely. Oh, that's really rough too, because depending on how bad that fee is, you could have a good point. But on the flip side, though, it's like, if it's already going to be that bad, it's better to do it in a zero commission broker anyway, right? Unless you have a broker specifically catered to short selling. That would be, I mean, depending on how bad it is, then I may need to do more research into other brokers, certainly. For those bullish setups I mentioned, experiment channel more, analyze, backtest, overlay with MACD. Yep, slow to stochastic. Those only work with candlestick structure. Too overbought and hold OB. No, I get what you're saying with that. Yeah, a lot of these setups can be overbought, and those structures start to fail under that pressure. That's certainly a realistic and reasonable claim. But I mean, hey, Ross is able to make it work, right? Yeah, not only are a lot of these stocks moving slower, but like look at the shares outstanding for this, like 62 million on this stock. No wonder it's trading sideways. It's getting some volume, but the float's just surely too high here. Yeah. Well, since it seems like a lot of you wanted it, once the money settles, and it's, I mean, knowing Webull, considering how long it took last time, because I've already started the transfer, but knowing how long it took Webull last time, I'm not going to make any promises about when the money's actually going to be settled. So it might be like a week until I even trade in that account. And for now, I'll be still trading in this one. Good morning, Marcel. Back at it, mainly watching. Hope you're doing good. Thank you for stopping in, Marcel. Unfortunately, today is a very, very slow day. We've been here for almost 40 minutes now and still yet to see something that's even remotely moving. Right? We have UOKA up a good bit, 81%, but like it's already done the move. Right, coming in here at 7 o'clock, you had like a brief spike, but it's kind of just going sideways. Not a big fan of trading stocks after they've already made significant moves and settled down. If you couldn't tell. Like, the only way I would really be interested in this is if this got back to high of day and the volume was, like, fairly high. To me, that'd be the only way I'd be really interested in this. And even by then, it's like you're so You're already so late into the move anyway, so I'm like afraid to get involved here. It's like a catch-22, really. But what is today? The 9th. So not this week, but next week I'll have the Webull Premium payout. So Monday of next week, we'll actually get to see how much premium I've generated here. Should be around $15, $20 of passive income, which, I mean, hey, for how much size I'm trading with, like that's almost like a day's profit swing, which is significant. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, if I have another red week, then I'm going to need it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Mostly just waiting right now. But yeah, I didn't hear from anyone. I don't know if I said it. How was Friday? Was Friday actually like a good day to trade, or was it slow? I heard some people saying it was slow, but I don't actually know. UOKA is actually kind of popping here. You're getting some significant volume coming in. I mean, at least certainly it's something to look at now, because nothing else is really moving. It was slow. Friday trash bins. Well, I'm glad at least I didn't miss anything. Yeah. It's definitely seeming like today might be slow too. So I'm watching for this area around 248. This looks like clear resistance. Just under the $0.50. This is probably the one end, and then probably going up to like 260s. Yeah, 264. So this seems like an area that price might reject in. Not sure about the exotics you like to trade, but the normal markets were great. Yeah, the normal markets have, I think, just as much, sometimes even more activity than pre-market. It's very weird because like pre-market, I think, gives the cleanest moves in a lot of cases, because like with market hours, you have like the halts, which just happen constantly during market hours. I do like the cleanness and the more controlled nature. Like it's less chaotic. Well, it is chaotic, but it's like a controlled chaos. Like it is more predictable what kind of chaos you will experience. Whereas with the market hours, you're literally just seeing halts up into halts down, and it's just very hard to manage risk. Friday slow, did more trading after the bell. By the way, to be clear, I will not be shorting during market hours, because that is literal death for my backtesting. My backtesting shows that the biggest moves where I'm exposed to risk happen during market hours, where you experience like a halt up, and then the thing gaps up like 300% or something stupid. Like that has happened several times historically. But looking at the data, it seems that these massive moves don't happen as much. I mean, we have, what was it, MPT? I think this was the one where, like 20 days, where this one had this crazy, crazy move, where in like less than a minute, it went from $7.60 to $30. So like these moves can happen, but they are much, much rarer to happen instantaneously in pre-market. The frequency of halt up into spikes like that is much higher during market hours. and halt downs, right? Like it's not, I'm not just saying that it's free money, but it is much more dangerous to trade with big size during market open. I said this last week, after hours trading is less volume, but the moves are so clean. No warriors and no halt levels. I love it. So, and maybe my experience is biased because I don't have a huge sample size with it. My experience trading after hours is that it is more focused on things like earnings reports because like companies seem to report earnings more during after hours. And as a result, the volume isn't as choppy. It's more like a grind. Well, I mean, choppy and grind are the same thing, but I mean, like, there's no massive spikes into massive dips. It is more like a gradual climb up or a gradual climb down, from my experience. But if you're suggesting that that's inaccurate, then I can look into it again. Because again, like, I don't have a huge amount of data on that, so I could just be totally mistaken. Or maybe I was just in a time period where it was a bit slower during after hours. But yeah, let me know, Bobby. If you think that it's worth exploring, I'll certainly take a look and do more digging into after hours. Love how you're just like, no warrior. What do you mean, Bobby? Are you trying to suggest something? You know, I would be curious if Ross traded during after hours instead of market open. Would we see a dynamic shift in how much momentum we get in pre-market and after hours? That'd be a very interesting question. Yeah, it's a slow day. Like that's all there is to it. We're almost halfway through the stream already, and there's just nothing really moving right now. What a great time to come back. So I initially said that 48 was going to active resistance, and it looks like it was closer to 45. So I was 3 cents off of what the first real resistance was going to be. Yeah, we're getting some volume, but doesn't seem like it's enough. Let me look at the level 2. Yeah. Does look a bit thickly traded. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not interested in trading this. This isn't giving me my criteria, so I'm not really going to try and force anything on it. I've been noticing the same thing in after hours trading. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I should look into after hours more. It could be worth exploring. I'm trying to think, because like this would be one instance where after hour trading did something interesting, right? What did this do during the day? Okay, not much. Yeah, so you had a spike. Did we have news behind this? There was no news behind this move, so this move just kind of happened. 120 up to 170. So I mean, it's a 50-cent move, and considering this is a lower price anyway, this is already a pretty impressive move. I mean, there's certainly price action here. And since my scanners are configured for current moving stocks, stocks like this would kind of get ruled out. Like, I might sometimes detect these with like a gap scanner, right? If a stock does move after hours and it holds up. But, I mean, realistically, there's probably a lot of stocks that have had action in after hours, gapped up significantly, but then just didn't hold the move. And as a result, I don't see them on my gap scanner. So there's definitely a blind spot there. Certainly. I'm telling you, I love it. Okay. I can make a mental, not a mental note. I'll make a note of it here. Could be worth investigating. Think about it, Cat. When we sit down at 7 a.m., most of the big gappers on the scanner happened after hours from previous day. I recall several instances. I can't really put an exact number because I wasn't really focusing super hard on it. But just from my collective memory, I do remember several instances. It seems like there is at least some percentage of the gappers that are on pre-market that were because of yesterday moves or like prior day moves. I can't really put an exact number to that because, like, again, I wasn't really focusing specifically. Whenever I'm looking at a scanner, I'm never really thinking, okay, how many of these have moved from yesterday? But it is significant. Like, it's at least 25%. And it might be more. I mean, we can look at the gap scanner for today, for example, like UOKA. Obviously, this one was a prior day move. This one was not. This one was... It's a bit cheaper, but this one was a prior day move. Prior day move. So that's 3 out of 4. Okay. This one's actually getting a bit of interesting action here. Volume's very low. But this does... Okay, so this actually... Oh, interesting. So this one actually has news from the half hour, and we're only just now starting to get some volume. Maybe keep an eye on this one, actually. This actually looks kind of interesting. Right, we're just now starting to get some volume coming in near the top of the hour. This could end up doing something. But anyway, back on track. I'm getting distracted. So, yeah, this one didn't really move. Yeah, so, I mean, we've had a couple instances, right? Like Tnon did it. This stock did it, and UOKA did it. So we've had some stocks that have done that pattern. That's probably what people during market hours are thinking about pre-market. Right. Right. People coming in at 9:30 or right at market open thinking, man, there's so many stocks gapping up this morning, you know? Dude, I literally called this out before the volume came in. That's crazy. And that was just because of the gap scanner. But yeah, we are definitely getting some volume coming in now. You saw it here first. I called this thing out before it even got the volume. Because now it's popping up on my momentum scanners. Very strange daily price action. Just huge rugs and then pumps and then rugs. Daily chart looks very strange. Strange that it took like 50 minutes for this to get traction from the time the news came out. Or not 50, 20 minutes. So this has huge range from like the 920 to 860 area. This thing just kind of churned in this area. Yeah, level 2 is much thinner. You're seeing like a 50-cent spread. Well, on the extremes. Seems like it's closer to like 20 cents in reality. Even this from like 1050 to 950. We got 2 minutes till the top of the hour here too, so if anything comes into play, this could get invalidated. Bit worried about that. I would actually almost expect price to drop here in the next minute or two, just out of that danger. We also have this pattern where price has popped up significantly on next to no volume. So this could be a bull trap setup. We'll see though. The news does seem to be good. A $12 million order is not nothing. No recent shelf registration either, so this doesn't have downwards pressure on it. It's been basically 2 years. The real question is just how much is this going to pull back? All right, top of the hour. Okay, nice recapture of 10 there. Even if it was just a brief moment. Low volume though. Man, buying it like 1060 is so much downward pressure. There seems to be some support around 940. MNTS moving. I'm going to watch this for just a moment, though. I'll go ahead and pull up MNTS on the side, though. MNTS, crazy, crazy move. MNTS is certainly moving well here. That also might attribute to why this is pulling so much harder. People are shifting focus to MNTS. If that's the case, this might actually get a sudden final push down. That could be good for me, just to create an overreaction. Yeah, this 940 area has held super well so far. I still felt that this was bearish up here, just the way that this gapped up with no volume. You got kind of a fair value gap. I was looking for a push to 9. We didn't quite get it. Maybe the support here is just too strong. But yeah, MNTS did have news. Partnership, it looks like. Stock has been really beaten up lately. It just kind of spiked straight up and is just holding here. Pretty significant volume. They did announce a prospectus just 2-3 days ago. So this has huge headwinds for dilution. HEBC. This one just kind of popped up, but it just rolled over. LTK pushing the lows again here, back at this 930s. This is quite depressing if anyone tried to buy for this sudden spike back to high. Just an immediate rejection. This area seems like it's kind of holding. Not a lot of volume pressure on it, but a lot of orders did go through at 920, and there was a bunch that went through here. So this could have been just a slight lower to fake it out. The volume is just a little bit too low for me to know for sure, though. Still watching MNTS on the side. Yeah, a lot of pressure on 920. MNTS continuing to pull back, pretty significant here. Gave back basically the whole move. I would have been worried to buy this again because they did just announce a prospectus for dilution 3 days ago. So, not surprised at all to see a pop getting sold into. MI popping. Too cheap for me, but just calling it out. Nice little Green Day on for you. Locking it in now. Crazy. Crazy market SMH. I mean, I wouldn't even call it crazy. I just call it slow. Right? We've really only had ELTK and MNTS that have really made an impressive move. MNTS gave back the whole thing. This looks like dilution to me. I mean, we'll see if it pops back up, but it looks bad. And even this, like this popped up, right? For the first 20 minutes this had news, there was just no volume. We had a huge price movement on basically no volume. The real volume started about right here. So you've got this huge fair value gap. Slow is better vernacular. Well, I gotta Google that. I have no idea what that means. Vernacular. The language or dialect spoken of the original people in a particular country or region. Architecture concerned with domestic and functional rather than public or monumental. I mean, I guess that word can work. So I was initially looking to buy at like 890s if this did break down, but this is consolidated too much here. Getting worried that if it does flush, it's going to flush harder. Yeah, 920. I'm just watching it get hammered on the level 2 here, but it's holding. Right? Maybe there could just be a very big buyer here. Who knows? MNTS, I mean, we've given back 60, 70% of the move, something like that. Right, like how much is this given back? I mean, almost 80%, really. Even worse than I thought. Yeah. This is fine, though. Slowing down when the market is not giving clean movement, I think is totally acceptable. It's unfortunate that I'm having what's going to look like back-to-back no trade days, but I mean, we still got like 15 minutes. I'm counting it out too early. ELTK is kind of close to an entry too. MNTS has prospectus supplement for primary offering on February 6th. Probably why it dumped. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So, like I said, 3 days ago, they put out a prospectus, and as a result, I'm not surprised at all that MNTS dumped. Yeah, I called it out whenever it was, when it was still up here, that they had that prospectus. Really sketchy. Yeah, I fully agree. There's a good chance that's why it dumped. Compare that to this stock where there hasn't been any kind of dilution for the last 2 years. So like this has, at least from a rug pull perspective, has better potential to bounce, though it does seem to have these rug pull instances despite no dilution. Maybe just really bad earnings or something. Very unclear what direction the company's going. That could be what's going on. I still have an order for this stock, but I've significantly moved the order down. Because if 920 does fail, this thing could just floor super hard. Right, we were seeing like a 50-cent spread at some points over here. So I'm definitely not ruling out the possibility it does more. More crazy shenanigans. But no, good stuff getting green whenever there's not a lot of clear action. Even now on MNTS, like, if I'm not a betting man for that, but like if I were to take a guess, I would say that it probably rolls over. ELTK did end up failing at the 920, but the volume is also extremely light. Looks like it's recapturing 920 potentially too. Ton of orders going through it at that level. MNTS looks like it might have given a false high here. We'll see. Significantly higher volume too. Minty is trying to rally, but that offering filling is probably going to hold it back. Oh, certainly, yeah. Definitely. Maybe fully rejected. It's a penny stock for you. MNTS has to get over 8 and hold to get back in play. Yeah, I think I would agree with that. Yeah. I still don't know if I would want to mess with it, though, just knowing that there's a prospectus so recent. And this stock is notorious for dilution. I've seen it get pushed down on dilution several times. So in my head, this stock reads to me like a dilution stock. So like I said, I'm still bearish, expecting that this rolls over. If not immediately, then within the next 30 minutes. Just given the stock's history. Look for possible bounce off the 698 level. Nothing big, I don't think, but possible bounce. I mean, you can see supports here, but I'm really concerned if this had this much of a fake breakout, this could just sweep the floor. Certainly notorious for dilution, yeah. I mean, it's shown up several times in the last several months. Yeah, back to like a 40-cent spread here. If I do get in this one, it needs to be like on the good side. Right, near the bid. Yeah. Sure is. Whoever's trading it. Be careful, MNTS. Candy just bought the top at 9.15, took a nasty loss. Yeah, I mean, and again, like I made the same mistake too. Just like, if you have the time, just check the filings, because seeing that there was a secondary offering literally 3 days ago, not saying that a stock can't move under those conditions, but just that the odds are significantly higher and you should price them in. Yeah, we'll have to go give Candy our regards afterwards. CMND. I mean, that's somewhat of a spike. CMND could be doing something. Seems like I'm getting better at checking the filings. All of this is turning into an art. Got to keep working on it, though. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like I said, not sponsored, but like, I really do think BAM SCC is so good for this. Like, you just type in up at the ticker MNTS, it pulls up this. You go down to prospectus and registrations, and you can see all of their filings and the dates. So like, you can see that just 3 days ago they filed a prospectus. And in case you're like unaware of like how offerings need to go, typically the way it does is first they'll do a registration, but this doesn't mean they can actually sell shares. They need to do a follow-up, what's called a prospectus in most cases. There are some exceptions, but generally they have to file a prospectus before they can actually start the dilution. And this is what people usually will get notified of whenever the dilution starts. But you can go on here and you can actually see it. You love BAM SCC? Yeah, no, it's really good. Right, it makes it's so much quicker too than going through the actual filings. Such a great tool. And what was it? What was that stock that I got stuck in that like 90 cent? Was it ELAB? I don't know, but yeah, there was a stock that I was in. The shelf registration and the prospectus were super, super recent. Didn't read the filings, even though I had so much time to. And like, it was super obvious. Like, it was a totally preventable loss. Like, one of the two losses I had last week was totally preventable. Well, I mean, technically both were, right? Because the one was the filing issue. I didn't identify the filing issue. That might have just kept me out of the trade, or I would have cut it sooner. The other was just me FOMOing in because I was getting too impatient. So realistically, my losses last week were not variance, right? Variance being you took the trade, did you get the lucky end of the coin flip or the unlucky? If there was a fundamental issue with both of the major losses I had last week, then that's just an execution mistake. I see you, nasty. Oof. Okay, so pop and drop does have news. No recent filings. I mean, this is pulled back significant. Average is around 40 to 50. That pop down was a bit lower volume. See if we get a pop from that. Yeah, a little bit of a spread. Another leg down. Still like volume on it. Pop up with 280 for cap, you MFer. Yeah. I appreciate you, Mr. Captain. Your insight is great. It's helping me become more rounded as a trader. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. The price action's acting rather weird on this one. Surprised that the spread's gotten bigger on this one, too. Yeah, there's a lot of orders going through at 30s. Don't really like that. Come on, Cap, need some green. I do need some green. I've been getting bullied. This isn't looking like a trade that I'm winning either. Yeah, I'm trying to cut it here for a loss now. I'm not liking how it's building up here. All right. Yeah, I'm cutting it there. I don't like how it consolidated so hard here at this 30 level. Now watch it bounce from it, but looks like tremendous pressure on 30. Yeah, another red for me. $9. Is the Bitcoin fiasco affecting small caps? It could be. It's hard to say. Yeah, it really is hard to say. So this thing just rolled over. So no recent dilution on it too, but like this thing just popped, immediately rolled over. I mean, my entry was fine at 40s because this was like the low here. Makes sense. But yeah, it just pressured super hard at 30. Hmm. Well, it is what it is. Down $9 on the day. The LTK did make another leg down, but on basically no volume. Give me one moment. I want to check one thing. Okay. Okay, so I might need to start doing this just to... I'm gonna somewhat give some consultants to that ICU trade, because take a look at this, and I'm only gonna show it for a moment. So these are the 2-level data sources from that I was looking at for this trade. Now, for this trade, I was only looking at the Weeble level 2, and notice how the spread is bigger. And this is because this was a total view. And this was actually the first day that I've traded with just total view. And the spread looked bigger than it actually was. So that may have affected my judgment a little bit. Now this did end up rolling over, so it looks like the correct call, at least initially. But I could have maybe worked around it, because like when I'm placing orders, I'm placing it kind of anticipating how the price is moving based off of the spread. So I'm going to just trade with both level 2s up here. Or I mean, I guess really I don't even need that, do I? I could just use the... I could just use the Thinkorswim. Yeah, there's no reason to use that. Okay. Certainly interesting to note in any case. Market still Z? Yeah. Need soup? I'm starving too, even. I'm starving too. MNTS MACD curling. Ooh, wow. MNTS had a huge knife on it too. It just... And I was saying it could do this too. Remember? I said that there's a chance it just sweeps the floor, and it did do it. Now, I wouldn't have expected this bounce back up. This is a bit surprising. KITT. Oh, a little float, a little high. Float a little high, yeah. MNTS pullback to previous high of day. Yeah, that's a good point. It did bounce off of that high of day. Still small green on 3 trades on MNTS and UOKA. Good stuff, Tristan. Good stuff. Yeah. Not a nice drop there. Yeah, what's up, Duvin? Probably jumping between all the people, all the streamers, and seeing everybody down today. It's just been slower, and we've just had such a high failure rate too. Right? ELTK failed. MNTS, realistically this failed. ICU failed. So yeah, we're just seeing these stocks pop up and then roll over. Like, this one didn't even really have a bounce to it. My entry was okay at 41. But there was just no bounce. Who's got the soup today? Well, we got to find out. Let me do a poll. Today certainly feels slower, so I'm expecting that most people haven't traded, but we'll see. Maybe because it's Monday, people have been more antsy to trade. Surprising amount of greens. I'm sure Duvin has made a lot of soup today. This happens a lot, then target profit 1 at VWAP. I mean, it makes sense if you're aiming for a support level that's very clear. I can understand why it could have potential, certainly. Inverted head and shoulders on MNTS 1 minute. I see this getting back over VWAC if it holds 7. It looks a bit like one, certainly, right? Let's break down second leg, but then surprisingly covers and comes back. It's got strong headwinds of the recent prospectus, but sometimes it can rally past that. Well, UOKA was okay, early pre-market. MNTS offered a few small scalps. Suppose you had one opportunity here if you bought. You could have held for this. It may be risky though. DJ's Momentum Mastery stream is green 140. Momentum Mastery. Made money on the first red candle on MNTS. So you bought, I guess you like bought for this? Or did you short it? Bottom ticked it. All right, so 780 max potential. I mean, this was like a 45-cent bounce. So yeah, if you bottom ticked it, then yeah. $730's MNTS. Fair enough. I would not have expected it to break out, but it does have a resemblance of a head and shoulders, certainly. This recovery from this breakdown is very strange. But yeah, I would not have expected this. You got 32 cents a share out of MNTS, but it was a total level 2 trade. There it goes, got great trade, got 30 cents. Good stuff, Bobby. Huge volume coming in on this move too. Very interesting. Yeah, for whatever reason, when this flush down happened, this was just not a valid flush. Whether it was the daily support, head and shoulders, or some other pattern, but for whatever reason, buyers decided to come back in here despite this prospectus. And another thing too is maybe people shorted it down thinking that this would get diluted hard, and it just never did. That's certainly a possibility. If you had seen the filing, wouldn't have traded though. Seen falling after, or seen filling afterwards. Filing afterwards. And I mean, to be fair, right? Just because they have a filing doesn't mean it won't go up. But like realistically, there's significant headwind. Like I'm still ultimately bearish on it, just from the filing alone. Even with ICU, like it just, looking back at it, it's just like this just rolled over and died. Just didn't do anything. Yeah. It's basically not locked into a losing trade, but I would have had to take basically break even or a small profit. And realistically, after this much of a rejection, like I would have anticipated at least a bounce back to 250. And you got it very briefly here, but yeah. Due to a lack of anything else beautiful inverted head and shoulder pattern, I took a stab at it. Fair enough. And sometimes when there's only one thing that looks decent, people look at that more. So that's certainly a possibility. It's almost like if you're going to trade something with a prospectus, it almost has to be momentum total scalp trade. Like in it for 10, 20 seconds kind of trade. Still a little bit dicey at that. I mean, I've seen it where it can have a very recent prospectus, but the stock still makes a crazy move and holds. Like I've seen it where it'll make this first leg and then it'll make like another 2 legs up. It will eventually give, like majority of the time, it will give the entire thing back, but they might not necessarily sell immediately on the first pop like they did here. And also you gotta think too that sometimes they might anticipate that they didn't get a good exit here when they were selling, so they just stopped and paused, let the price rally back up, let short sellers get taken out, let longs get confident before resuming distribution. That's another possibility too. Like the only thing we know is that there's a filing for a prospectus. We don't know when they're going to sell. They might not have even sold in this. This could have been all organic and natural for all we know. I mean, I think that's unlikely, but yeah. No trades for you yet, even? Fair enough. Yeah, it seems like most people have taken no trades today. Yeah, I'm wondering where the heck the time went today. It's already almost 9 o'clock. It feels like just nothing has been moving. I'm not even upset with my trade. Realistically, I don't see anything I did wrong with it. It just didn't work. Like, it just rolled over and didn't bounce. Like, I don't really think... And even then, like, I was basing some of my criteria on the level 2 data. And I was getting not the full picture. So that could have played an impact as well. I don't think there was any major blunders regardless with this trade. I got out once I saw it was stabilizing around 7... Or this 230 level. Looked fine to me for exiting. I think mostly I'm just watching this just to see how this plays. Don't want to get back in MNTS. Ultimately, it's only up 28%. Don't want to push my luck. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know how much I really trust it to bounce further. Each leg this goes up, I think the odds of it rolling over are higher. I'm still surprised it even went up this much, truly. Would like to see the 9 EMA cross up through the VWAP. Ross now claiming he's only up 7 grand because he's hung over from being upset over his Super Bowl team losing. Gotta love it. Only 7 grand. Like, what did he even trade? I mean, I guess MNTS, right? Like, I don't know what else he would have... What else would he have traded? Like, nothing else really moved. I mean, I guess he could have traded this for, like, the 1 minute high. Maybe he bought here. And then he sold into this. I mean, it's got to be either ELTK or MNTS, right? Like, I guess he could have bought this too. He is MNTS, yeah. Drake bet 1 million on the Patriots, dang. Where did he buy? Was it this move or was it, I guess, this? I mean, I could see it being the front side. This one could, like, it's got to be one of these two, right? We're seeing a slow grind here. Like, it's still holding. Like, we're making higher lows here. Still pressuring this significant. Nice 40-cent breakout there. Fully rolls over, question mark. He's in MNTS now. So he bought for this. There's 25K shares. So this thing, if he bought for this break, this thing popped and immediately rolled over. How did he make 2 grand if he didn't just buy here and immediately sell for that? This small pop. Realistically. I mean, there's no way he just bought here and sold the entire position here, right? So logically, I would think he would be down right now. We'll see if this ends up holding up or rolling over, though. Certainly interesting. We're getting the play-by-play for Ross's trades. PLBY moving, though. Ross is up 9K. How is he up? Or do you mean like 9K total? So like he made 2 grand from that trade or whatever. Well, I'm just wondering because it's like, if he bought here, right? If he bought for this break, there was like literally no room to sell unless you were willing to just sell it right here. But like this is such a small price to capture considering how much this is consolidated. I feel like I'd have to see the trade itself. Like I don't really know unless he bought like here anticipating the move. That would make more sense. But for like the price to pop and immediately roll over and for him to be up 2K is interesting. I think he'd almost have to have gotten in a little early. He bought and sold on the same candle. He even mentioned that if he wasn't using Lightspeed, he probably wouldn't have been quick enough. So he just bought and sold this then? On the pop above it, yeah. I could say some things about that if that's the case, but I won't. All right, let's see. PLBY. Yeah, it's just... This does have news on it. Signs $123 million deal. China stock, though. There's a 77 million float. I didn't even check that. I mean, on, yeah, 107 million total shares. Interestingly, this does have a very strange price pattern, though. This is not normal price action. So I suppose this has potential to do something crazy. Even this, you can see it's just like it grinded from 150 to 160. Honestly, just knowing it's a higher float and knowing that this is Chinese, I'm like less interested in it. Right? Just being honest. I mean, okay, so technically this part of it is US, so it's technically a US company. Okay. So I'll give it that. It's only the Chinese part of it that it's working with. Still, quite a high float. Very strange daily. We love us some Playboy. Like usual, I'll stick around 5 minutes. See if anything else comes up. Then I'll probably head over to Mr. Candyman. Just pop in, see how he's doing before I head out here. Unfortunate to have another red day. So we're 3 red days in a row now. It's looking like, I mean, I can definitely have a trade before the end of this session, and I could go green, but I'm not expecting it. So 3 red days, 2 of them more significant, or slightly, they're not that big, but like a little significant. Certainly seems like February is a slower month than January, for sure. All right, and even today has been abysmally slow. We've had some moves, but they've been very, very not great. And this kind of just ended up going sideways. I still like the news on it. News is solid. But I'm probably not going to touch it. A quick shout out for anyone who's watching and is new and not subscribed. I do stream every day. I'll put an asterisk to that because it seems like lately I haven't been, but I do stream my sessions, so if you're interested, maybe subscribe, come along for the journey. I will be starting a new system here in the near future, since the majority of people seem to have wanted it, based on the polling. I will probably, once that's set up, assuming that the fees and commissions are too brutally expensive to where it's totally not worth it, then I will start doing that new system once the account is funded for it. My stream starts at 7 AM EST. Right, I'm in Eastern Standard Time Zone. I stream for 2 hours. What happened Friday? You were not live? I was sick. I'm still feeling a little under the weather, if I'm being honest. I still feel kind of stuffy. But yeah, I just wasn't feeling that great. The thing about pre-market, I buy where I won't be liquidity for Ross and the other big traders in his chat. Yeah, I mean, you look at MNTS, right? So if Ross bought here for this break, you're telling me he bought here 25,000 shares here, and then he sold here. And he put that out to thousands of people, and then immediately after he sold, the stock rolled over. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't want to say anything, but like, it looks very peculiar. All right, well, we're at 9 o'clock. We'll see if we get anything else on the scanners here. Yeah. Not looking like we're even getting any follow-up either. So I'll give it like another 2 minutes. I'm not really expecting anything though. But I do appreciate all you guys that stuck around here. See, we're still at about 40 people. So thank you all who did stick around. I know it was a slower day today. Only one trade and it was a loss. It happens. Especially when the market gets colder. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not seeing anything. It looks like 9 o'clock was a bust. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I'll go ahead and stop by Candyman, say hello to him on his stream. But yeah, you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow. I will keep you guys updated whenever I do get the account funded. I don't know how long it's going to take, but whenever that's done, then we can go ahead and pivot to experimenting with that new strategy. But yeah, until then, you guys have a good rest of your day. Take care, everybody.